dude, she left me to go back into my own house all by myself. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different in spite of spooky season. We are going to be doing a get ready with me, and I'm going to talk about my haunted house that I am living in and have been for 7 years now. If you like videos like this, beauty related, lifestyle related, with a little bit of spooky twist once in a while, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so just want to right off the bat kind of do a disclaimer that this is not like the scariest story you're ever going to hear, but it is real, and there are quite a few different things that have happened here. Mostly they started after I had my daughter in 2018. So I am going to be trying new makeup today. I'll leave all the products that I use down below. But I did want to kind of quickly mention that if you're looking for something crazy and demonic and all that, like, I don't think this is it. But if you're looking for a spooky story that's real, this is where you're going to find it. So this all kind of started when we moved in. There really nothing happened. Nothing happened for quite a long time. I do remember there was this one time that my mother-in-law, I had some really spooky stuff happening. I remember telling her about it, and she gave me her trouble dolls, which I will link below. They are basically in a little box. They're tiny little dolls. There's 6 or 7 of them. You pick whichever one you think just speaks to you, and you put it on your bed. You say all your troubles goodbye, and supposedly it's supposed to take your troubles away. Well, I can't even remember what was going on in my house prior to that, and all my troubles truly went away from that trouble doll, which was crazy. I know it was some haunted stuff going on. I can't quite remember what. There was something pretty specific and scary feeling, but like I said, it just takes your troubles away, which is wild. But then stuff still continued to go on, so I don't know if that had really taken it away or just made me think that it did and this is something new, or the same thing. So then a little while later, one of my friends, Sadie, had come over. I don't know if it's gonna be the right shade, but it's probably gonna be a little dark. I just wanted to try it before I have literally no tan left and can't wear it. I can probably mix something a little lighter if this is crazy dark, but yeah, so she had come over. We were sitting in my living room just talking, probably about nothing, or, you know, girl shit. And it was crazy because I have a fan in my living room. That sits like right over my island. And we were sitting there talking, and I was vacuuming. And I remember all of a sudden I shut my vacuum off. We were sitting there for a few more minutes, and then my fan just literally started moving at the most eerily slow pace ever. And like, there was no windows open, there was no wind, there was no way for it to do that. So that was scary. And we kind of sat there for a minute, and then she had some bad feelings and wanted to leave my house, and like wouldn't come back in my house. So bad, like she wanted to leave. So I remember she left, and I was so like, not really mad at her, but like, dude, she left me to go back into my own house all by myself. And I was like, you know, scared. So I remember she left, and the next time she came, she brought sage to burn in my house because she was not coming back in it until I had done that. So she never really quite told me like what the bad feelings were or what specifically was going on. She just left, so obviously it was something pretty bad. But I never really had anything else happen. There was when my husband's grandfather passed away, there was something that happened like at one of my husband's aunt's house or something. They had some pictures, and they were all like, Cody's grandfather's tongue was out, and obviously he didn't want those at his funeral because those photos like all went missing, and Cody was very skeptical of it. And then like the next morning, our bedroom shade at 7 o'clock in the morning, like as the sun's coming up at that time, flying up in the air. And so, you know, that's never happened before, never happened since. So we always believed that was his grandfather, like waking him up and being like, yeah, that was me who took those pictures. Like, time to get up, boy. you know? So that had happened. So flash forward to now we have Ember. I had her rocking chair in her bedroom, which is the room attached to our bedroom, which was our former garage. We transformed our garage into our bedroom, and we have 2 rooms off of that, a laundry room and Ember's room. So in Ember's room was her rocking chair for a really long time. After I had her and I would go in there to rock her to sleep, this happened all times of the day, but particularly at night. I would just get this really eerie feeling. Like I can't describe it. If like you've never felt it, it's hard to describe, but it was just this feeling that like I needed to leave. Something was going to happen if I did not leave. I felt like, I don't know, like the door was going to slam shut. I was going to get locked in there. I don't know. But every time I got that feeling, I like left that room. Noises happened throughout the night, but nothing really that you can pinpoint to being like haunted or anything. It could just be the house, could be, you know, outside, whatever. Our house can be pretty noisy. Like if the wind hits our house just right, it creaks, you know, it can be a noisy house. So didn't think much of it. The feeling was weird though. That was crazy. You know, now nothing's really happening. Well, I kept kind of telling my husband about the feeling that I was having in Ember's room. I would sometimes hear, so it's like my bedroom, across is Ember's room, and then behind it is the laundry room. So I would hear voices coming from the laundry room a lot, to the point where my cat and my dog would even recognize that something was going on there. My dog would freak out and bark. My cat would hiss. They would both wake up from dead sleeps hearing this. Like I would hear them over my headphones. So I felt like something was going on. So I do want to use this jelly blush. So I don't know if this is the right time to use it, but this is when I'm going to use it. Oh, it's so weird. This is by e.l.f. Look at that. I don't know. I don't really know how much to use or what, but I'm going to just kind of stipple that on, I guess. Grab a brush. So, yeah, like whatever that had happened, it was nothing really going on. I'm kind of trying to remember my train of thought. So, there's my daughter. So, you know, nothing really crazy happened, like I said. But then all of a sudden, my husband's like a non-believer. We were laying in bed one night. My cat was out there with us. My dog. So, my daughter, obviously. We co-sleep, so she was right in the bed with us. All of us were on the bed, all 5 of us. All of a sudden, I had this trash bag on top of my counter, which is in the middle between my living room and my kitchen. So, it is not right near my back door. It's a whole room away. The whole kitchen length away. So, my trash bag, I had it on the counter. Probably to get rid of the next day with my husband, take it out when he left or whatever. And all of a sudden, it like loud fell off the counter, we think. But it was loud, and it like made a really loud noise. So now my husband's up going to look what the hell that was. He comes back in and he's like, you know, how did that get across the room? So even he's like questioning it at this point. So the bag literally flew off the counter all the way into my back door, which was crazy because not anything fell out of it. And it was like a shopping bag, like from a store. So it was open, like a to-go bag from like a restaurant. So they're wide openings. So if it had just fallen off, like it would just fall next to the counter, or maybe even a little bit further, but stuff would have been out of the bag, flown across the room into the back door. I think my daughter stubbed her toe. So then stuff like that keeps happening. Things are flying off. Things are not where they're supposed to be. You know, those types of things happen for like a year. Every time I would talk about it, they would get more frequent. And when I would kind of give it a rest, they would go away for a little while. Then I started hearing my husband get home, and the door open and the lights would turn on in our entryway. And he was not home, like nowhere near home. So that was kind of weird. There was a couple of times he was working nights. I was putting my daughter to bed and I would turn around and see him. And like then obviously he wasn't there anymore. When I turned like back around, I'm thinking like, oh, you better not wake Ember up. I'm almost getting her to sleep. And then I would like text him and he did not come home. Didn't, he was at work for hours. So that was weird. I just kept like, whatever. I talked to my mother-in-law about it a lot. She had heard on Christmas Eve. She was over there wrapping gifts and stuff. She lives literally right on the same property as us, just right next door. She was wrapping gifts, and Cody's stepdad and his brother, plus my dog and her dog were there, heard Cody yell boo and open the door. And he was not there. Like, he was home watching, I think we were watching a movie with Ember. Like, she'd called, he didn't go over there. He was home. So that was kind of weird. Then, more recently, like within 2020, end of last year, early this year, things kind of started to happen more frequent. The feelings were so bad in Ember's room. I ended up moving the rocker into our bedroom because I didn't want to have to go in there at night at all, especially when my husband was working nights. I was petrified that door was going to slam shut and I was not going to be able to get out. It was the weirdest feeling. There has also been times like during the day, there's a slight shadow because I co-sleep with my daughter and I have for a long time. So naps, a lot of times I lay down with her until she's asleep, and I could see like a shadow walking back and forth from my kitchen on the far side of the wall. It was like a shadow, and that comes from in the kitchen. Like when my husband does, is walking back and forth, I can see it. He's not home and the shadow's happening. And then this feeling accompanies it of just needing to get out of there. And that is not a good feeling. So all this keeps happening. Now I had heard voices a couple nights. My daughter's asleep. I'm watching probably YouTube or something on my phone with my headphones in. And I keep hearing voices. So we have a AC unit, and I wasn't sure if it was the neighbors maybe outside, and maybe their voices are echoing in. Or, whatever. Now my dog's alerted to it, and she's wondering what that noise is. Now my cat's reacted to it. Ember's even stirred from it. So whatever, I didn't think much of it. I looked back down to my phone, and I saw out of the corner of my eye an orb fly from my rocking chair towards me. Mind you, I had not been sitting in my rocking chair for probably 45 minutes at that point, and my rocking chair started moving as the orb flew out of it. So that was weird. My cat was on the bed with me. My dog was on the bed with me. No one else was home. That was like impossible to move by itself. 45 minutes after anyone's been using it. I was petrified. A little while later, I felt someone like tap my hand. So that was pretty crazy, pretty scary. I called my best friend. She came over and saged my house the next day. I remember during the saging, I got this really bad feeling like we shouldn't be doing it. A door had slammed shut. She's very logical. She thinks it's the wind. I don't know. It seemed kind of coincidental. My feelings were very, very strong at that point that we should not have been doing that. But things seemed to get quiet for a while. So I thought the saging had helped. More recently, same types of things were happening again. The talking, the touching. Not really sure what it was, what it is. I know that in Ember's room it gave me like a really, really bad feeling. Whether that feeling, was right or wrong, I don't know. But it definitely just didn't feel right. I'm going to amp up that highlighter. It's just not enough for me. So call it what you want. I didn't feel right about it. I'm not really sure. I believe in the paranormal. I've had several experiences throughout my life. Nothing crazy, like I said, but little things here and there. Wow. Holy moly. Look at that. Wow. That combo is dope. So yeah, like I said, I've had like a bunch of different experiences throughout my life, but this has been the worst. It's the feeling, like since having my daughter, it seems like it all came around that. It seems very negative, but not negative enough that it's done anything. Scratched me that one time. I don't know. There's been a couple other times where, like, before Ember ever said Mimi or Papa, and I should preface that with saying that we had always thought that my mom and dad were going to be Gramply, because that's what my niece and nephew have always called him, and my mom was going to be Gramly. And Cody's mom and stepdad were going to be Grandpa and Graham, because we always called Graham for Daisy, my dog. She was going to Graham's, so we just were going to keep it with Graham. So we had never said Mimi or Papa. I don't have a Mimi. I have a Papa, but I don't see him ever, so his name, like, would not come up. And there was one time we were sitting on the couch. She was sitting in her bumbo on the coffee table, and I was feeding her something, and my husband was outside helping his mom and Danny and Jacob with whatever he was helping them with. I can't even remember because it was insignificant. He was helping them, and Emma had looked over. We have, like, a sectional, and in the corner of the sectional, she had looked over and started saying Mimi. And that was weird. Like, right on her first birthday, she also was, like, handing something up to someone saying Mimi. So that was kind of crazy. We believe that maybe my husband's grandmother was here. I don't know. That's where Mimi would maybe come from. He has actually a rocking chair from when he was younger. Because up until he was like 5, he called her Mimi, and then he started calling her Graham. And that rocking chair was signed from Mimi and Roger, her boyfriend at the time. So we believe maybe that was Mimi. Who knows? And then there was a couple times more recently, she had never said Papa before, and like I said, it was going to be Grandpa and Gramply. So that's what we were always calling the men in her life. And Dada, obviously. And I was trying to put her to sleep, and sometimes when she fights it, she'll, like, yell stuff out. And she looked behind her so vividly and sat up and was like, Papa, Papa. So that was kind of, weird too. And I thought maybe that was Cody's grandfather that she was seeing. Because he had parts in building this house. Lucille, Cody's gram, had lived here until she had to go to a nursing home. This was built for her. And we've always wondered that, but, there's nothing that can tell you. It could just be like a little bit of coincidence and her just talking to talk, or it could have been something. But I definitely know the evil feelings that I've felt at times in this house from hauntings were not from them. They would not do anything like that to scare me. So that's when it gets kind of concerning. And it's hard to ever say, who it was or what. But we've also had, like I've been touched a couple times, same as that one situation where they had tapped my hand. It had been that, and then I think my hair got pulled when I was rocking Ember in the chair one time. I thought it was the chair the first time. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought my chair, I was maybe laying on my hair because it's long. But I knew it didn't feel like that, but that's what I was, like, telling myself, because, you try to write everything off when it's, like, spooky and haunted. You just write everything off. So that's what I said the first time. Then it happened again. And I thought maybe my cat was on the back of the chair, like, stepping on my hair. He wasn't. So I'd always just kind of, wrote it off as I had to have been sitting on it. And my husband doesn't believe in that kind of stuff, so he always has, like, a reason for everything. Same with my best friend, who I always tell everything to. Like, she just always says, well, probably this was what happened, or, this is the logical explanation. It's all kind of, whatever you think, I guess, because who really knows? I could be crazy, or I could be able to tap into something that maybe not everybody can. And no one will ever know. So I was going to write down a list of all the things that have happened and really thought about them, because there's been more. But off the top of my head, you never can remember everything. And I'm always a little nervous to sit down and film because I have super bad anxiety. So I can't even remember what else has happened at the top of my head, but I can do a part 2 if it's something you guys would be interested in to hear more. There's definitely more. Tons more. Just just all little things like that though, like certain voices different times, or you know, little touches here and there, but it's never anything crazy. I've seen like black shadows going by my outside window, which I always thought was like my eye, but then my dog saw it once and Cody saw it once, and we both thought it was like a person out there, and it never was. And it like has happened quite a few different times. My mother-in-law has seen it, and it always lurks like on the same corner, which is just a little eerie, but like I said, it could be nothing. It's always hard to tell with that stuff until it's hard to have like viable proof. But I can sit down and make like a really thought out list if that's something that is of interest, because it would take me probably a little bit of time. I would love it if you guys could leave a comment down below of any spooky experiences you've had. I love hearing about them. Some of my favorite YouTubers I watch on YouTube are Haley Reese. She does a lot of like she talks about experiences like known experiences like The Conjuring and stuff like that. She talks about them a lot and like the real story behind it, and then sometimes does paranormal adventures. And then Mosarji does a lot of paranormal adventures, and Oh My Gosh TV does a lot of those as well. There's also this guy CJ, I'm not even sure what his last name is, but he does a lot of adventures with them, and I like him more as a add-on to the videos rather than like his own channel, but everybody's got different preferences. And I would love, because I love the haunted season and all things spooky and paranormal. I think it's super fun. I would love to talk about my own experiences a little bit more if that's something that would be interesting. I wish I could remember something else that's happened, because I know there's other stuff. But it's all, like I said, things like that. Like I remember another time laying in my bed, once again she was asleep, having that thing walk by, the shadow on the wall, and seeing orbs fly off. And the shadow was stopping. So that felt pretty clear that it was because of whatever spirit was there. And actually around the time that I was seeing those, because it was like a period of time where I was seeing them every single nap time for like close to a month. And my mother-in-law happened to, after I told her, see this. She was homesick from work one day and saw this like documentary. I don't even know what channel she was watching. And it said that a restless spirit will pace back and forth like that. So I've always wondered like what restless spirit would be in my house and haunting us. It also kind of seems, that's a blush color by the way, it's so pretty. It's always kind of seemed like it's maybe more attached to my husband. I have a theory. If you guys would like to hear that, I could also talk about that in part 2. But yeah, maybe I'll just write down a list and you guys could comment down below if you would like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to see more, and give me all your paranormal experiences. I would love to hear them. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video away with all your friends and family. I had so much fun doing something a little bit different, so I think that I'm going to try to incorporate more story times doing my makeup, so it's like me talking about whatever, you know, but a little bit more fun. So don't forget to subscribe, guys, and give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!